de jour. I can feel it in my bones, Rodney.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this time next year, we'll be millionaires.
Yeah, terrific, Del. Right, what have we got today, then?
Well, we got these genuine gold effect leaning Eiffel Tower of Pisas. Yeah, morning, Trigger.
Morning, Del. What's your Dave?
Trig, how many times have I told you my name ain't Dave, it's Rodney?
I thought it was Dave.
I know, but it ain't. I mean, it's never been Dave, it's always been Rodney.
You winding me up, Dave?
No.
You mean to tell me that for the last 20-odd years I've been calling you the wrong name?
Yes.
Blimey. Feel a bit daft now. Sorry, Dave.
It's Rodney!
Blackpool Towers.
No, these are
I
genuine
used to go there on me holidays when I was a nipper. Me and all my family. Every year we went to Blackpool.
Oh, yeah, well, then you might recognise these then, Trig, as genuine gold effect Blackpool Towers.
Yeah.
You know, I bet you and all your family would love a few of these, bring back all them wonderful childhood memories. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. 2 for the price of 3, and I cannot say fairer than that.
No thanks, Del. We all hated Blackpool.
So why do you go there every summer?
We could never find Margate.
All right, Trig, maybe see you down on Nag's Head later, all right?
Yeah, see you, Del.
All right,
See you,
let's get
Dave.
this out the
It's
back.
Rodney.
What are you doing in the back of the
Right,
van?
Del, blimey. All right. All right, Rodney. I've got a little something here for you and what's her name?
Cassandra?
Yeah, it's a wedding present for you.
Oh, Granddad?
Yeah. There's a story attached to that cigarette case, you know. Because my grandfather was shot in the Boer War, and the bullet was heading right for his heart. But luckily, he had that in his breast pocket, and it hit that instead.
Wow. What, it saved his life?
Not exactly. The bullet ricocheted up his nose and blew his brains out.
Why are you giving it to us, then?
Well, for good luck.
Cosmic.
All right, go on, do one, old man. We've got
All
stuff
right.
to shift round
See you
here, haven't we?
later.
We got some half-price crack, Tyson miles and miles of carpet tiles, TVs, deep freeze and David Bowie LP, all games, gold chains, what's the names and that push and Trevor Francis track suits and Crom and Mrs. Shepherd push. No income tax, no VAT, no money back, no guarantee. Black or white, lift your broke. We'll cut prices at a stroke. God bless Hooky Street. Viva Hooky Street. Long live Hooky Street. Say magnifique. Hooky Street. Magnifique. Hooky Street.
Sure, I
Two
can
for a
have it.
pound. Hooky Street.
£5 over here.
Hooky Street.
2 for a fiver.
Stick a pony in me pocket. I'll fetch a suitcase from the bank. 'Cause if you want the best things and you don't ask questions, then brother, I'm your man. 'Cause where it all comes from is a mystery. It's like the changing of the seasons and the tides of the sea. But here's the one that's driving me berserk. Why do only fools and all says work? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Why do only fools and all says work?
Yeah, you want to shield your old mince pies, darling, because these are dazzling, aren't they? Now you know how the people of Athens felt when they first gazed up at the ceiling of the old pristine chapel. Here, do you want to touch it? No, maybe later.
Flaps and empty packs of blood, slacks, top, long, cheap, hot, and something for your time, what? Knapsack, sack, jacket, and our price will satisfy, stand by, supply, Spanish fly for
Now, Denzel, come out. Got that hair dry you was looking for. There you go, brother. Thank you very much. And 20 crates of Parker Plum from a Twonky Plum, 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 twon, twon, twon. 'Cause where it all comes from is a mystery. It's like the changing of the seasons and the tides of the sea. But here's the one that's driving me berserk. Why do only fools and all says work? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Why do
It's like being part of the family, my TV family, all the familiar faces. It's fantastic.
And hearing that music as well, it just kind of takes you back, doesn't it? I was suddenly a kid again watching it on telly. It was amazing.
Paul, how have the audiences taken to the new Trotters?
They've hated it, haven't they? No, every night it's been... Oh, can I take this off?
I talk like that anyway, actually.
It's been great. Every night it's the audience has really loved it and we've fed off it and it's become a sort of big mutual loving, so it's been a joy, hasn't it?
No, there's an enormous amount of pressure on all of us, but it's such an honour and a privilege to get to do it every night.
It's amazing. You look amazing. And
Don't tell him that, blimey.
apparently that's not real.
No.
Apparently.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
apparently.
It is real.
There's nothing real about him. It's all fake. Whereas this is mine.
Paul,
Go on, have a go.
Lovely. Paul, your time with Comet Relief goes...
when I sacked off Papua New Guinea during the war.
It's uncanny, isn't it?
A huge thanks to Paul Whitehouse, Tom Bennett, Ryan Hutton and the cast of Only Fools and Horses, the musical.
Thank you.